All right, page 4 of G4 notes. You can also use the formula without a Venn diagram. So one thing, I have Miss Wu teaches geometry and algebra 2. The probability that a student gets Miss Wu for geometry is 0.18. Probability that they get her for geometry and algebra 2 is 0.03. So the question is, what is the probability that they will have her for algebra 2 given they had her for geometry? So I want to know the probability of algebra 2 given geometry. The easy way to remember this formula, so you can have a 3x5 card, but it's these two and the and on top and that guy on the bottom. So together on top, this guy on bottom. So I have algebra 2 and geometry is 0.03. Probability of geometry is 0.18. And that basically is 1/6 or 0.167 if you round. Okay, now we're looking at a table of graduates and courses they took. I'm going to go ahead and calculate the totals for each type. So this 435 is total geometry students, all right? And this is total regular geometry. This is total pre-AP geometry. See that? Here we have 476. That's the total who took regular algebra 2. And here I have 180 that took pre-AP algebra 2. How many kiddos did I have all together? 656 is my total. Everybody. All right? So determine the following probabilities using this table. That they took pre-AP geometry. So the probability of pre-AP geometry is over the total, because it's not given. And how many took pre-AP geometry? These kiddos plus those kiddos, or 221. Oh, pretend that's right. Probability they took pre-AP algebra 2. It's not a given, so the total goes on bottom. And the total of kids, the total of kids who took pre-AP algebra 2 is our two groups. We add them and we get 180. Probability they took pre-AP algebra geometry and they took pre-AP algebra 2. Okay? So basically, total, because it's not given. So I got 656. Where are the kids that took both pre-AP? It's 157. Now, is this the product of the other two? I'm going to tell you right now, if you multiply these numbers right here, I know they look horrible, you're not going to get the same answer. It's going to be a different number. I think here I got 0.239, and here I got 0.0924. And why is it? They are dependent. It kind of makes sense that someone taking pre-AP algebra 2 is more likely if they took pre-AP geometry, right? So it's more likely that pre-AP kids are going to stay in pre-AP and regular are going to stay in regular. What's the probability they took pre-AP geometry or pre-AP algebra 2? So I can basically pre-AP geometry or pre-AP algebra 2. I know it's a lot. Well, it's the kiddos who took geometry plus the pre-AP. Oops, I have the wrong numbers in the wrong spots. It's actually the 221 geometry pre-AP kiddos plus the 180 algebra 2 kiddos, but I got to take out the double counts, 157, all over my total because it's not a given. All right. Is this the sum of these two probabilities? 221 over 656 plus 180 over 656. You can already see that it's not. Why not? Why or why not? This one includes double counts, right? It didn't take out the 157. That's the overlap. Almost done. Probability they took pre-AP algebra 2 given they took pre-AP geometry. Well, that's basically going to be given is pre-AP geometry. Who took pre-AP geometry? That's the 221. How many of those kiddos took pre-AP algebra 2? That's 157. Probability they took pre-AP geometry given that they took algebra 2. Pre-AP, pretend there's a pre-AP there. Well, it's 180 kids took pre-AP algebra 2 And out of those, here's 180, 157. And there you go.